All right, guys, welcome to week 6 of distance learning. Today we are going to talk about missing pieces in our equations and how to find them. This week we're going to be doing a math mystery, which most of you are familiar with, and we will be answering one clue or figuring out one clue each day. So you want to make sure you save whatever your clue is, whatever the answer to your puzzle is, so that on Friday you will be able to go in and mark off all of the clues that you have to find the answer. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about today is part-part-whole and how that works. So a part-part-whole, usually you'll see it looking like this. This is where your whole number is going to go, and this is where both your pieces are going to go. So in order to get your whole, you need to add these two pieces. That is going to equal your whole. But if you're missing a piece of your part, you can subtract the whole from the part that you do know, which will then give you the part. So let's look at an equation and see how that factors in. So we're going to take the equation 98 and we're going to subtract that, and we have an unknown number. And then we are going to, this is the equal sign is going to tell us that 17 plus 18 is going to be the same as this. So basically, I'm going to figure out the pieces I know. So 17 plus 18 is going to give me 15 carrying my 1, 3, 35. So I know that 17 plus 18 is going to give me 35. This equation is actually easier to look at if you do this. 98 minus blank equals, and then 17 plus 18 equals blank. The blank here we figured out to be 35. So our answer here is also going to be 35 because it's part of a puzzle. Remember, this equation is going to equal the same exact thing as this equation. So what do we do now? We have pieces. Is there a whole number? Are they parts of a number? That is something we need to look deeper at. So when we're looking for a whole number, in subtraction, our whole number, and I put whole number, so WN, our whole number is always going to be the first number in your equation. Okay, that's the largest piece. So if my equation was 12 minus 6 equals 6, my whole number is going to be the first number in my subtraction problem. Now, it's different when you're looking at addition. In addition, your whole number is going to be your answer. Okay, so if I had 6 plus 7 equals 13, my whole number would be here. So you have to remember, in addition and subtraction, where you find your whole number is going to be a little bit different. So over here, my whole number is going to be 35 because I have addition. But in this equation, so for example, if I were to write this as part-part-whole, it would be 35, it would be 17, and 18. So in order to get 35, we added these two together, and that gave us 35. So now we have part-part-whole, but for subtraction. So in subtraction, we have our first number, which we know is our whole number. So we have 98. And our parts, we have a number we don't know, and we have 35. Okay. Remember, I got 35 because these two have to equal the same. So what do? If you remember, in order to get a whole number, you have to add the two bottom numbers, but we don't have that number. Remember we talked about if we don't have that number, we can come up here and we can subtract. We take our whole number, subtract it by the part we do know, which will then give us our unknown part. So let's try that. We have 98, which is our whole number. We're going to subtract the part we know, which is 35. So 8 minus 5 is 3. 9 minus 3 is 6. So our answer would be 63. So we would put 63 right here. So 98 minus 63 is the same as 17 plus 18. That means whatever answer I get here has to be the same exact answer that I get here. Okay, let's look at another one. Let's go to clear. All right, let's look at 99 minus 21 is the same as 71 plus something. Now, remember our part whole. If we're looking for our whole number, in subtraction is going to be the first number. The whole number in addition is going to be the answer. All right, so right here we have this is complete, so we can figure this one out. We have 99. We're going to subtract 21, and we are going to get 9 minus 1 is 8. 9 minus 2 is 7. So now I know that this equals 78. And remember how we talked about in the last one, 99 minus 21 is going to equal something. And it is going to be the same as 71 plus something is going to equal this same number. So we just found that number to be 78. Okay, so we can put 78 in both of these. Now we have to figure out 71 plus something is going to equal 78. Well, most of you are probably going to say, oh, it's 7, that's easy, right? Put a 7 there, add it up, it's 78. You're right. But if we're looking at it as a part whole, we're going to take our answer, because it's addition, and we are going to put that at the top. We're going to look at the piece we know, and then the piece we don't know. So that would be 78 minus 71. That's going to be 7 and 0. So you see, you still get the same answer, but this is how it would look in a part whole. All right, let's go ahead and try another one. We're going to do 2 more, okay? So let's do one that's a little bit bigger. Let's do 871 plus 287, and that's going to equal the same as 1187 minus blank. So what do we know? That's the first thing we need to figure out. What is it that we know? We see this side has a complete equation. So we're going to need to figure this one out. So we have 871 plus 287 is going to equal something that is going to be the same as this one. So this is 1187. Subtract a number, and it's going to equal, remember, this one and this one are the same. Okay, so let's figure that out. 171 plus 287. 7 plus 1 is 8. 7 plus 8 is 15. I'm going to carry that 1 over here. 8, 9, 10, 11. So when you have a number that's 2 digits and it's the last one we're adding, you're just going to put it right here. So our answer for this is, let's change our color so it's easier to see. is going to be 1,158. So we have 1,158 here. So now we have to figure this out, part whole. Subtraction is the first number. Addition is the answer. So this equation is subtraction, so that means it's going to be the first number. So this is our whole number. Our part is 1,158. In order to get the answer for this, we can't add these two together because we don't have two numbers. We need a number here. So we're going to have to do the opposite, which is subtract. How do you know which number to subtract from the top? So your top number. Hopefully you said you always subtract from the whole. So 1,187, you're going to take away 1,158. 7 minus 8, we can't do that. So we have to go next door and say, yo, give me some. So he's going to give you a 1 right here, make that a 17, and this now will be a 7. 8 plus 8 is 16 plus 1, so let's see, that's 9. 7 minus 5 is going to leave us with 2, and both of these are going to be 0. I don't need to write the 0 because numbers don't usually say 0, 0, 29. So my answer for this is going to be 29. Okay. If you are having a hard time, go back, rewatch this video, come in and see us during our office hours. Miss Susaita is from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Miss Flores is from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and I am from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Miss Bowman. So if you need us, please come in. I'm going to go over one more and I'm going to let you guys loose. Here we go. Last one. Okay. 872 minus 190 is the same as blank plus 226. All right. So right here, we have this equation complete. So we can actually figure this one out. So in our equations, we have 872 minus 190 is going to give us an answer. And then we're going to have blank plus 226 is going to give us the same answer. Remember, this one and this one will be the same. So let's start with the equation we know. 872 minus 190. If we have 2, we take away nothing, we still have 2. We have 7, we take away 9, we cannot do that because 9 is bigger than 7. So we have to go next door and say, yo, help me out. So the 8 says, all right, all right, all right. So he turns himself into a 7 and he makes him a 17. So 17 minus 9, I know 9 and 9 is 18. That's too big, so this is going to be an 8. 7 minus 1 would be 6. So my answer should be 682. Now over here, I need to get that same answer, 682. So that means I have to figure out what goes here. So I'm going to look at my part whole. Remember, in addition, our whole number is our answer. Okay, so 682, and then we have our part, which is 226, and we don't know what this part is. So remember, to get a whole number, we need to add these two together, but we don't have those. So if you don't have them, then you have to subtract. So we're going to take our whole number. Oops, I'm sorry, my bad, my bad. This pen is going crazy. Hold on, let me erase this. All right, let's try that again. Okay, 682, and we're going to subtract since we only have one part. 2 to 6, and now we're going to subtract. So if we have 2, we cannot take away 6. So we have to go next door and say, yo, 8, give me some. They said, all right. Changes himself into a 7 and makes this guy a 12. 12 minus 6 is 6. 7 minus 2 is 5. 6 minus 2 is 4. So my answer is going to go right here, and it's going to be 456. Now, you want to make sure you're checking these. I didn't check them with the last 3 that we did because I wanted to show you the process. But just so you know, in order to make sure this is correct, because sometimes when we do math, we make little mistakes, you want to go in and do the math for this. So if I have 456 plus 226, my answer should be 682. So let's see, 6 and 6 is 12. Carry the 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6. It is. So that means we are correct. And that is all for today's lesson. You're going to go ahead and complete the math worksheet that is for your clue number 1.